All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, folks, we are here with another amazing episode of Unscripted. As you can see below me, we got our boy Logan Landers. Say what's up to the people, Logan.
What up to the people? You guys might not know this by looking at me, but I'm back in the producer's chair today, taking over for Jay McLovin, who's had a stressful week, but we're happy to have him back on the show.
And down below me, we got our special guest who is, let's just be honest, man, he's part of Unscripted at this point. Hey, he just didn't realize it, but we've been recruiting him the whole time. He's in a cult. He's in a cult now. We call it the Unscripted cult, and he is just here now. It's our boy, Chris Gonzo Gonzales. Say what's up to the people, Chris.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, we're only just a week away from WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah. Next Saturday is when it starts. We are 1 week away from night one. It's going to be a good night, man.
And there's some good March Madness games on right now.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of good stuff going on.
You know, I'll tell you what. You know, and we'll get into this here in a minute when we get into it. But it has been, Chris. It's been a crazy week, man. I missed the last, because we didn't go on the last show because Logan got hit by some kind of car.
Let me explain that real quick. So Jay was doing some moving stuff. I was all ready to do the show with Chris. We had our topics ready. Things were looking good. And then about 2 hours or so before we were going to go live, we heard some sirens outside of my house. We're like, what's going on here? And so then we learned that a car, I guess it got into a wreck, hit a power line near my house. We lost power for like an hour, 30 minutes or whatever. And we did not have internet the whole night. I woke up the next morning and it came back. It is what it is. Again, that is the unofficial report. I personally think that Logan had something to do with that. I think he had better things to do. But we're gonna go with it. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna do it. What's up, Ben Sutterth? Good to have you here, my brother. Yes,
hopefully enjoying the show.
And
but yeah, man.
It's our favorite commenter, John Suggs. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, listen, UNC did take down Baylor. We're gonna talk more about UNC and what UNC is doing. But yeah, man. Hey, look, it's been a fun. And I'm ready to get this bad boy started, Logan. Let's hit up the first topic, bro.
Here you go, Jay.
I already brought it up.
The March Madness recap and preview like we've been doing, man. Oh, my God.
So I'm pulling. I want to make sure we get this good. So I'm pulling up the scores. And that was, I believe, the last time we aired. It would have been that would have been during the Sweet 16. So we'll look back at the Sweet 16. And we'll kind of just go from there, which I believe was Thursday and Friday, if I'm not mistaken. We had Arkansas who beat Gonzaga. Man, I don't know what y'all were thinking, but man, when I seen Gonzaga go down, I was like, oh, it's about to get interesting in March Madness now. What did you think about that, Gonzo?
Tell you what, I think Arkansas might win the whole tournament. Their defense, their hands on defense, the way they deflect balls is probably one of the best I've ever seen. It's crazy. They just always have a hand on the ball. And, I mean, they made Gonzaga struggle to score almost that whole game. I mean, Gonzaga never looked comfortable that whole game. And I could see Arkansas doing damage the rest of the tournament because of that defense.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Arkansas is definitely going to have something to say, especially in the Elite Eight. Logan, what do you think about Gonzaga going down to Arkansas, man?
Yeah, I mean, like we saw Holmgren got fouled out. That was a big key. And like Chris said, man, Arkansas's defense was just staggering. And they're the only SEC team left in the entire tournament, so they're trying to represent for their conference. So far, they're doing good, man. Like I said, they got the big win. and now they're going to go up. They got a tough matchup next against Duke, so we'll see.
All right, next we're gonna do kind of this. We're gonna shake it up a little bit different. We're always talking about the Houston, Arizona. We're gonna talk about the recap first, and then I'm gonna kind of fast forward a little bit to that immediate game that's going on right now, just because the game's almost over. And I want to kind of hit that one real quick too. So we'll start off with the Arizona game, though. Houston beat Arizona. They look good. I mean, Arizona played them tough. Arizona played Houston really tough. They were all in their backsides, on the offensive side of the ball. Houston was shooting like that. That Shed is a hell of a player. I don't know if it's his senior year or not, but I kind of hope he comes back for another year because I think that guy is special. But absolutely, Arizona lost to Houston. What did you guys? I don't know if y'all watched the game or not, but did y'all have any takeaways from it? Logan, I'll start with you.
I thought Arizona was going to win, honestly. I thought that I just felt that they were going to move on. But, a real good, real tough win by your boys in Houston, beat them by 12. And like you said, man, Shed did good, 20 points, led the team. And, hey, Houston keeps on rolling.
Gonzo?
Yeah, I was surprised Houston won that game. I picked Arizona to win the whole tournament, so
I was surprised too, honestly.
But man, like you said, Houston just shot the ball lights out, and that Shed, I think he really improved his what people thought about him because I don't think many people knew who he was, but they do now because man, he had a great game that game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think if he comes out in the draft, I think he's going to fare pretty decently in the draft. He is a little bit undersized, but, man, he's got a hell of a shot at the three-point line. And as we look forward to the next game, obviously Houston is playing Villanova, as you know right now. Villanova is just a hell of a team, man. And it looks like they're going to win this game. They're up 50-44 over Houston. They only got like 25 seconds left in the game. So it looks like Houston's going to wind up losing this one. But, man, number one, a good shout-out to Houston for the round that they put together. And shout out to obviously Villanova, who played good offense and good defense and kept Houston to pretty low score. Because let's be honest, this is the lowest score I've seen Houston put up in this tournament.
Yeah, Logan? Not even 100 points combined, honestly.
No.
That's rare to see. But like you said, Houston made a really good run this year, got pretty deep, and if they can retain some of their big players they had, who knows what they can do next year in 23.
Gonzo, what do you think about Villanova Houston?
Yeah, Villanova's defense just has done a great job running Houston off the 3-point line, and Houston just couldn't come up offensively. But that program in Houston is going to keep growing. They got a good coach there with Sampson.
Right.
He was building IU up until he got in trouble with some recruiting stuff, but he'll build a program. He'll keep building a program there in Houston. And some of the stuff he was getting trouble for recruiting wise is now legal, so he should be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I said,
Villanova surprised me because I didn't think Villanova would make it this far. Actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, and it's true. I really had Villanova, and that kind of brings us up to the next game, Villanova Michigan. I really thought Michigan was going to be able to beat Villanova, but it just didn't work out for Michigan and Juwan Howard. Yeah. What did you think about that, Logan?
Yeah, man. Like you said, with Michigan and all, I think we all thought they might go a little bit deeper than what they were. But like you said, Nova's just been overmatched so far. Samuels has had a really good postseason run, and it's been good. Also, going to James Moreland, the arena game is still being broadcast live on our live TV channel on Roku, I believe. It's also on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can watch it. It is available. It's just we're going concurrent with them, so you can watch both if you got two tabs open on your screen. Just say it.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're definitely running into some issues with their Facebook feed.
I think they got it figured out, though. I just checked on YouTube. You can watch it over there at All Sports All Plays Network, and it's also on Facebook too. It should be. If not, then leave some angry comments and we'll figure it out.
leave some angry comments. Let these people know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, because that's what we do. But just make sure if anybody asks you who said that, you just tell them Mike Hughes said that. Okay?
Mike Hughes.
His name is Mike Hughes. And or Pride. You can say Pride.
Mike Hughes or Pride. Those are the two. That's where we're getting it from.
One of those two.
I'm about to say you don't see it for Jay, but he's got an earpiece in. They're feeding us all this information right now. So that's fine.
But no, hey, get on. So obviously, Villanova lost to or beat Michigan, and now they're getting ready to beat Houston and move into the Final Four. Actually, at this point, so congrats to those guys. I mean, honestly, Villanova. Yeah. We'll see how far they go, but the sky is certainly looking bright on Villanova. I'll tell you that. And then we move into Texas Tech, lost to Duke, which is really kind of the game I wanted to talk about mostly. It was because obviously this is Coach K's final year, and I really think that this Duke's team is special, man. I think they're going to play lights out. I think they're going to play extremely hard, and I think Duke can actually make it into the Final Four. And I don't know who they play. Does anybody know who Duke plays in the Elite Eight?
Give me one second. I think it was Arkansas.
Kansas they play?
Hold on.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. There you go.
Yeah, they play tonight.
Start here in about a half hour.
Yep.
Man, who here thinks that's not going to be a good game?
That's going to be good.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I'm actually looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, me too. I'm right there with you. And I got to be honest with you, I'm rooting for Duke. If Houston is knocked out and there's no Texas teams left in it, I'm going to put all of my money behind Duke and hope that they make it to the championship. If nothing else, I would love to see Coach K go out on top.
Yeah, that Duke Texas Tech game, it was a tale of two halves. The first half, it was like a defensive battle.
Yeah,
Texas Tech was doing good, but then toward the end of that second half, Texas Tech just kind of fell apart, turning the ball over, and then Duke got hot shooting the ball. But I mean, Duke's going to be a tough out for anybody. And like you said, they have that momentum of it's Coach K's last year. Instead of looking like it putting pressure on them, they look like it's giving them more confidence, and they're using that as motivation. They don't look like they're folding under the pressure, at least not yet. But we'll see how they look against Arkansas's tough defense tonight. So it's going to be a good one.
Oh, absolutely. Logan, what do you think about that Duke Texas Tech game? And what is your thoughts on the Duke and Arkansas game tonight?
Yeah, man. First off, Duke and Texas Tech. I think Duke, like we were all saying, they have something good going for them, and I think they're gonna keep it going tonight. I don't know. It's in my soul, right? I'm just feeling it. And also, John said the last two games Duke's been using more players. Last name Roach, I'm guessing. So I mean, sounds like you gotta go deep into your bench, right? That's especially kind of key in March Madness. And also to what Brace said, RQ Brace, what he said. I mean, the game. I mean, Jay, Chris, are y'all seeing it? I can see it on my page, but it says it's blocked in certain countries, so I don't know what we got going on here. I
can't access it from where I'm at, so I don't know what the deal is with that one. But
all I get is a screen of it, but it's not. The screen don't move or nothing. It's just like a frozen screen, and it says it's blocked. And
okay,
it's not letting me watch it.
Yeah, okay, I might see the issue here, fellas. I'll send it to our Facebook group messenger, and you can see what's going on. So to all the viewers looking for the football game and who might be upset that we're taking its place, oh well, tough luck.
And like, what is it on Roku TV?
Yeah, you can find it on Roku. You can look at our Facebook, look on YouTube, ASAP Network. I mean, I just checked YouTube. It's on there live right now. So go over on YouTube and watch it. Because Facebook's a little bit stricter, I think, for whatever.
Yep.
So go over to our YouTube, go to the Roku, and check it over there. But it is playing though. Don't worry.
But yeah, I think what do you think about the Duke game coming up tonight?
Yeah.
Duke Arkansas.
I think Duke will get it, but I think Arkansas is going to give them a run for their money. I think it's going to be a close game. Good defensive battle. If I think Duke will win it in the end, kind of close. I don't think we haven't really seen a buzzer beater yet, guys, have we? Not that I can remember. If so, then there's maybe just one. But hey, we might get one of those tonight. Also, shout out to John Suggs putting the link for the football game in the comments. So guys, go check it out there. But don't leave us though. Like I said, open up 2 tabs, watch it, listen to us, and watch the game. We can't lose our viewers, Jay. We can't lose them.
Hey, listen, I don't want to lose my viewers. But I definitely think that the Duke game is going to be special. And I really think that if they can make it to the Final Four, even if they make it to the last dance, I mean, and make it to the title game. That would just be phenomenal, man. Just phenomenal. And then we look into what we got Fridays. We had obviously Providence hung pretty close with Duke for a while, and then Kansas for a while. Kansas actually wound up taking that game out 66-50 or 61. I actually think Kansas has a really good shot at winning the whole tournament. Kansas is just looking nasty right now. Does anybody think anything other than about Kansas not winning the national title? Logan, you want to go on?
They got a good chance, bro. They really do. I mean, the Jayhawks are looking good, and we'll see what they can do. I like them. They got a really good chance of getting the win in all.
Gonzo, what do you think about this Kansas game with Providence? And what do you think about their future?
Well, the Kansas-Providence game, man, Providence played them tough, and if it wasn't for a couple turnovers there at the end, they might have won that game. But Kansas is getting hot. They're hot at the right time. I think Kansas is going to win when they play. I think they play tomorrow night, Kansas against Miami. And that's going to be a fun game to watch. But I think Kansas is going to get through that game, and I think we're going to get a fun game with Villanova and Kansas in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually do think that we're going to get an extremely good game in the Final Four as well. And then we move on to St. Peter's and Purdue. Purdue just, to me, they came back and they kept it close. They lost 67-64. But I thought Purdue kind of started off the game a little flat. I thought that St. Peter's was just – St. Peter's defense was just stifling on it. And St. Peter's really controlled that game very well for the Peacocks. And I tell you what, this Peacocks team, I know they're a Cinderella team, but man, they actually look pretty damn legitimate. What do you think about this game? I'm gonna go differently. Gonzales, what do you think about this Purdue game against St. Peter's?
Oh man, I didn't get to see a lot of it because I was at a wrestling show last night, but we were listening to it and keeping track of the score. But Purdue's biggest problem is turnovers.
Yeah.
And, I went to the Big Ten championship game and watched them play against Iowa, and they lost to Iowa because they turned the ball over 20 times that game. And then, like you said, they came out flat last night and they dug themselves a hole with turnovers. And they just depend too much on Ivy to try to create everything. And then sometimes he tries to do too much, and there's where the turnovers come in. But St. Peter's, I think they are legit, and I look for St. Peter's to give North Carolina all they want tomorrow. I think it's going to be a real close game.
Yeah, I do think John Sutton's talking about Kansas winning it all, but you got to get past the sleeper team in Miami. And I think those sleeper teams, man, they could bite you. I really like
the coach for St. Peter's. I really like him. I like how he's handled it all, and like the press conference, how he makes it all about the players and stuff.
Right.
I really like them. The only thing I worry about is they might lose him to a bigger program.
Also, John Suggs brought up a good point. He says Purdue looked great all year. But think about this. The Big Ten had 9 teams in the tournament, and there's none left.
Well, I said it before the tournament started that I think the Big Ten, their conference, the way they beat up on each other all year, they come into the NCAA tournament a little more tired than what other conferences do. Because Big Ten's a physical style of play.
Yeah, they're talking about Michigan State haven't won since 2000. Been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute since Michigan State won it, honestly. And then we move into the next game. I'll pull it up real quick.
Hey, hold on. Let me get my St. Peter's. I bet against them every time.
Look, I'm going to skip.
No. It's all good. Bet against them every time. I'm not doing it again. I don't care if they lose. I'm going with the Peacocks. They're flying high. They're already doing better than any other Cinderella story because they are a 15 seed and they are a top 8 team in the country. So
I'll be honest, and I gotta be honest with you, Logan. I mean, outside of Duke, I would love to see a Cinderella team win the national title. I don't think that's gonna happen, but man,
it would be. I can't wait to see what the enrollment numbers are going to be next year.
It could happen. School. Nobody thought Butler would make it to the national championship 2 years in a row.
Twice.
And then you know what? When's the last time a true Cinderella team won the national title? Does anybody remember the true national Cinderella team win the national title? That's a good trivia question.
State back in the day, right? Maybe. He said UNC has a deeper bench. UNC wins by 11. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one in a minute. But yeah, absolutely. And then we move into, of course, North Carolina. We all know beat UCLA. I thought UCLA put up a pretty good battle, but I just feel like North Carolina was just. Man, North Carolina is on that rhythm. I mean, they are just on that rhythm, and they're playing extremely well. And that is going to be a good game against the Peacocks. I mean, honestly, I think that's going to be one of the best games ever because you got North Carolina, who people really didn't really have going too far into it, against the number 15 seed Peacocks, who really nobody thought the Peacocks were going to do what the Peacocks are doing. And so I feel like that's going to be one hell of a game. And one of these Cinderella teams is going to get bounced out. And I hope, in my opinion, it's North Carolina. They really want the Peacocks to go far in this competition. Logan?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think that the Peacocks, I think they're going to put up a good fight. I think North Carolina, like you said, they're just kind of clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a real good chance to take it all the way, honestly.
Yeah, I think what hurt UCLA against North Carolina yesterday was that Johnny Jang, or I can't ever pronounce his name right, but him having that ankle injury and not being full strength, that really hurt UCLA a lot in that game last night.
So you said there's really never been a Cinderella team. Okay.
But and that's what I was thinking too. I mean, how cool would that be to see a Cinderella team win the whole thing?
I mean, especially since they were a 15 seed. So I mean,
especially since they were a 15 seed. Matter of fact, they said no 15 seed has even made it into the Elite Eight.
Yes, I mean they're already making history.
Incredible, just incredible. And then we go to the last game of the night, which was Miami and Iowa State. And obviously, Miami beat Iowa State to the tune of 70-56. So Miami really controlled that game from start to finish.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even close for poor Iowa State. I really had Iowa State going faring a little bit better against Miami. I had them actually winning over Miami. But as you can see, Miami proved me wrong. Logan?
Yeah, I mean, Miami's kind of surprising a lot of people too, being a 10 seed coming into the Elite Eight. And I mean, they got a solid team. Like I said, they beat up on Iowa State, beat them by I think 14. So I mean, they got them good. And I mean, their next matchup is against Kansas. So I mean, it's going to be a tough one for tomorrow. So we'll see how they can fare, and we'll see if the U gets the win or the Jayhawks. Who knows?
So most of these teams we've actually kind of talked about already, right. But we'll go into Saturday. Obviously, Houston is playing Villanova. So we'll have to wait and see how that pan or we already know Villanova won now. So we know Villanova is at least one in the Final Four. Then we got Arkansas and Duke, and we kind of already said that we think that. Well, I know some of y'all think.
I got Duke.
Gonzo thinks Arkansas is going to win it. Me personally, I think Duke is going to. I think I kind of expect Arkansas to win it just by the way Arkansas is playing, but I really want Duke to win it. Logan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Duke will pull it out. I think they'll punch their ticket to the Final Four, and I think that'll be a pretty good game, right? So the way it'll shape up for the Final Four is we got here. Let's see. So, like I said, Houston lost to Villanova, so Villanova's already in the Final Four, and so Villanova will either face Miami or Kansas in that matchup. So that's going to be a good one. Holy crap, that's going to be good. I kind of want to be. I think Kansas might pull that one out against Miami. Just a 1 and 2 seed going at it.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Yeah. Miami, man,
Miami's got a good program though. Miami's shocked a lot of people, so it wouldn't surprise me if they win.
Well, they got hot at the right time.
Yeah, John said number 8 Villanova in '85 was a Cinderella team that won. If you consider an 8 seed, I mean 8 seed that is kind of lower, but I think we're kind of looking for maybe 10 and up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe even 12
that's kind of what I was thinking.
If that's the latest seed that won it, then I mean, not bad.
They're the lowest seed that's won it since 1985.
Okay,
and they're the only championship team to average fewer than 70 points per game.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, Villanova at 8 seeds, the lowest seed that's won it since '85. That's
crazy.
Interesting.
Okay, so I mean, go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Logan. You're good.
No, I was just saying. So, I guess for my Final Four, I'm gonna go with obviously Villanova. I'm gonna go Villanova and Kansas, and on the other bracket, I'll go with Duke versus St. Peter's. I'm riding with the Peacocks, baby.
That's actually what I have as well. I got Duke. I mean, I got St. Peter's versus Duke, Kansas versus Villanova. Gonzo, you got anything different than that?
I'm gonna go Arkansas.
Oh, that's right. You got Arkansas
versus St. Peter's, and then I'm gonna go.
Hey, look at us all riding with the Peacocks tonight.
And then I'm gonna go Villanova and
Miami.
I'm gonna go with Miami. My brain's telling me to go with Kansas.
but you're thinking
Wow.
Miami. I got you.
My heart's telling me to go with Miami. They're on fire. They average 75 points per game. And defensively, they only give up like 64 points per game. So I mean, they're a good team on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to give Kansas a lot of trouble.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting, man. They don't play again. They play tomorrow, but then after that, they're off for a week, pretty much. So no college basketball for a couple of days after tomorrow. So it is going to be a little bit sad, but that's how it works out.
But I'll tell you what, Logan, man, these next 2 days are going to just be off the chain.
Yeah,
for
tonight, tomorrow especially. Because
I feel so depressed, man. I feel so depressed. Houston lost. I was really –
and they had a good run.
You
had a good run, Jay. What more, you know?
I know.
Is the Final Four next Saturday? The Final Four be next Saturday, right?
Yeah, next Saturday.
Next weekend, yep.
Yeah. So, Miami and Kansas play tomorrow at 2:20, and then St. Peter's and North Carolina play at 5 o'clock. So they play early, thankfully.
Good job. What's the next topic, Logan?
John Suggs said, man, y'all going to be drunk with all those busted brackets. He's got Carolina winning.
Man, you're not lying. Hey, listen, my bracket's so busted, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Some football news, Jay. Some very interesting news in the NFL happened.
Yes, a lot of interesting news has happened. So, Juju Smith-Schuster slides over to the Chiefs, and then I guess they felt like with Juju and Kelsey, they had everything they needed, and I guess they felt Tyreek Hill was expendable. I don't get that, man. Tyreek Hill is your speed guy. I don't know why you let him go, but they said they let him go, and he went to Miami, and Tua just got a really nice, long, deep threat with Tyreek Hill's speed. I mean, it's going to open up a lot of doors. Man, could you imagine Jalen Waddle, and you have Parker, and you have Tyreek Hill, and you have what's their tight end? Kinnicky or I don't know. I can't say the guy's name right. Kaseki. There you go. They have Kaseki. I mean, and then of course you got Gaston. Miles Gaston's running out of the backfield. I mean, that's going to be a good team, Logan. I mean, all you really need on the Miami Dolphins is the right guy at the wheel. And I will tell you this: I feel like Tua is not the right guy at the wheel, Logan. I don't. I think that they should have gone after Watson a little bit harder. But they weren't going to do that. That's why Brian Flores left. Yeah, or you know what? Hey, I think Baker Mayfield would do better than what Tua's doing. You got to really be a really big fan of Tua, and I'm just not a fan of Tua, honestly. Yeah. Logan, what do you think about this Tyreek Hill trade?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the Dolphins' offense looks really good. Damian said Tua has zero excuses this season. This is a proving year for me, Jay, because you say you already want to be done with him. I think I'll give him this year now that he has a better roster and just a little bit more playing time under him, honestly. He said with more weapons and a better O-line, if they don't win more than 10, Tua is going to be under even more pressure. Yeah, I mean, because let's not forget, I get they sucked in the beginning of the season, but they went on a 7-8 game win streak to end the year. So they ended the year hot. They just couldn't get into the playoffs. So we'll see how that can carry over with some new players, a new roster, pretty much a new head coach. And I think that, I mean, I don't know if the Dolphins, because the East is going to be interesting because it's going to be obviously the Bills, the Patriots are going to be right there too. And then the Dolphins, because the Jets still ain't ready yet, I don't think. The Jets are still not in that position.
Oh, heck no.
He said, do you trust him? You can't, I mean, I can't say if I trust him or not. He hasn't coached a game yet. I can't say if I trust him. He has not coached one single game. So I can't say.
I know he did good with San Francisco's offense. So I think he's going to be, he's going to have a good shot at it. But like you said, Logan, he hasn't proven anything yet. So you you can speculate. You can speculate all you want, but to really know, I guess we're going to find out pretty damn soon, aren't we?
Yeah, he's at a 0 record, right? He's at a 0 winning percentage and also 0 loss percentage. So you can't say. And then Damien said Tua is like Baker, neither can stay healthy.
I think Baker's a little bit more solid than Tua. Tua, you breathe on that hip the wrong way, and he's going down for the count. Gonzo, what do you think about this Tyreek Hill trade to Miami, and what does it do for Miami, and what does it do for Kansas City? Let's be honest. What does it do for them as well?
I don't think it does a whole lot for Miami just because I don't think they have the right quarterback. I mean,
exactly.
To me, Tua he hesitates. He'll see an open guy, but he still looks like in college where the guys are wide open. NFL, you got to throw it in the tighter gaps, and it's just like he hesitates to pull that trigger. And we haven't seen him trying to go deep a whole lot. Or is Miami going to finally take the training wheels off Tua and open up and see what they have? Where the last couple of years, they haven't really let Tua do a whole lot. 2 years ago, in the fourth quarter, they were taking him out of the game and putting Fitzpatrick in for him. So they haven't really showed that they trust Tua. For the Chiefs side of it, I don't think it's going to hurt the Chiefs as much as people do losing Hill, because they still have speed with Hardman.
Right.
And then they got
Scantling
they got
too.
Schuster in as a good possession receiver that a good route runner. Tyreek Hill isn't a route runner. He's just basically a speed guy, and he's great when the play breaks down.
Yeah, they've essentially replaced two guys for Hill, because they got Schuster and then they got Scantling from the Packers the other day.
Yeah.
So they're gonna just rely on those two and Kelsey and whoever else on their team to kind of make up for what they're gonna lose with Hill.
I mean, who's the best receiver on their team?
Right,
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's a
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's nobody better than Kelsey. For what Kelsey means to that organization is ridiculous.
Well, I think people are going to see that Kelsey helped Hill more than what Tyreek Hill was helping Kelsey.
Oh yeah, yeah. He what he did for Hill is the same thing that Amari Cooper did for Gallup.
Mm-hmm.
When Gallup was getting that 1,000-yard receiving, and Cooper was only getting like 867 yards because he had all the double teams, and it left Gallup in single coverage. And that's the same thing for Hill. Hill had less to worry about because he had Kelsey taking a lot of the double team. So, I mean,
As far as Tua, I don't know. I thought Tua got overdrafted. I wasn't a Tua fan when he was.
I wasn't either. I was not either.
So I just don't think he's the right guy for. They got a great offense now. They got a lot of weapons, like you said. They just got to find the right guy behind the wheel.
And I just don't think Tua is the right guy behind that wheel. But again, this is speculation. Maybe Tua proves us all wrong, and maybe he actually does stay healthy for once. I'm not putting money on it. I'm not a betting man like that. I'm not putting my house up for sale betting on it. I'll put it that way. All right, Logan. You got anything else to say about Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll see how he does with the Dolphins. But just a quick side note: who's Aaron Rodgers going to be throwing to this year?
Man, that's another good question. Who is he going to be throwing to?
We'll save that one for Tuesday. But who is he going to be throwing to? He said OT change. I'm guessing he's talking about I'm guessing he's meaning
the new overtime rule.
Yeah, I guess more like a college thing instead of what they've had, where it's just one score and you're in. I like the college one. You get
that'd be something good for Tuesday. That way that'd give us more time to read the proposals.
Thank you, John Suggs. Thank you for that. I'll put that in there right now. Thank you.
That'd be a good one. That'd be a good topic for Tuesday.
So Jay,
John Suggs, Tuesday. We are talking about the proposals.
So Jay, while I put that in our Google document, go ahead and read us our next topic, good sir.
Hey, number 1 ranked tennis player Bharte retires at 25, and I will tell you that's awfully young to be retired. But you have to think about it. She's been in professional tennis since she was 14 years old, so she's already got about 8 years of professional tennis already logged in the books. She just came off the winning the Grand Slam, and she's the first Aussie player to win the Grand Slam in I think it was 20 or 40 years. 40 years. It was the first Aussie player to win the Grand Slam or even win the Australian Open in 40 years. So that kind of tells you the significance of what she has done. Like I said, she started when she was 14. She basically quit because she felt like she had nothing left to offer the game. She felt like she gave everything she had to the game, and she just did not have that competitive spirit to basically keep playing, which is fine. I mean, I get it. Some people get burnt out on tennis. Hey, maybe you've just done. Maybe you feel like you've done everything you could, and you feel like you've been in the sport long enough. Maybe she feels like she made enough money, and when she wants to try something different, which is about what she's talking about. She said basically that she was, she had played cricket and she had played netball for a couple of teams and things like that in practice rounds, and she felt like cricket. Matter of fact, there was actually a semi-pro team in cricket that said that they believed that she could be, probably like one of the best professional cricket players, in the market. So she obviously has good cricket skills. Now, cricket is not my game of choice. I mean, that's not really all that big here in the U.S., but in Africa and I believe in Europe, cricket is pretty pronounced. So I think she's looking at possibly a career in cricket. But then her dad comes out and says, "Hey, what about golf? Because she can also play golf really well." So I think between her golfing and her cricket skills, I think there's going to be something in her professional future. I don't think she hangs it up and says, you know what, I'm done with sports altogether. I just think she's transitioning from one sport to another sport. And like her dad said, I would not be surprised if she even wound up in the golf world. And I think at some point, though, she will be in another professional sport, according to her father. Logan?
Yeah, we'll see what she can do. Like I said, she's going out on top, though, number one, right? So, I mean, like I said, she's 25. I mean, I wish I could retire at 25. That's only a year away. That would be great. But like you said, she's still got a whole lot of life left. If she wants to go into a different sport, she can. If she wants to pursue other ventures, whether it's in sports, outside of sports, or just enjoy some life for a little bit, I mean, hey, you still got plenty of time. Let's see. We got some comments. We're going to throw these up here. But, I mean, overall, just wrapping it up, like I said, good career, went out on top. I mean, what more can you ask for? Let's see. Going back in time to our last topic, Jay. He said the Chiefs would be good with Juju if he can stay off of TikTok. Patrick Mahomes will have a meltdown with him and Jackson together. Also, these are the OT rules. He said making it mandatory for. We'll go in more in depth on this on Tuesday, like we said, but let's just read these out because he did take time to type these out. Make it mandatory for each team to have an overtime possession before moving to sudden death, and then also implement mandatory possession for each team unless the team that has the first possession scores a touchdown and converts a 2-point. I love those rules. Like I said, we'll talk more about it on Tuesday. But I mean, I forget the teams. There's a game in college this past season that went like 8 overtimes because of that, and the score was insane.
Yeah.
We got our boy Frankie C chiming in, blazing hot comment here, guys. He said, "So Serena went longer. Stop crying, you little 25-year-old. Be real. You just want to enjoy your early life and party. We've seen a lot of transcending around the sports world lately, Jay. LOL."
Yeah, right. we definitely have seen a lot of transcending in the world of sports for sure. Yeah, I mean, hey, I wish her the best, man. Hey, listen, if you can retire at 25 and you've got enough money to retire at 25, hey, I say go ahead and do it because you know what? There's a whole lot of life left to live, and if you want to live your best life because you got the financial means to do so, well then damn it,
and you know she does.
Go ahead and do it, Bubba. What's our next topic, Logan?
Hey, Chris, you want to say anything about that?
Oh, shoot. Dadgummit, we missed Chris. Chris, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Jay's been off for a week. It's a little rusty.
Man, hey, my brain sometimes it don't work right all the time.
Oh,
Chris, what do you think about this tennis star that's retiring at 25?
Okay, well, before that, Frankie, there he put it up there.
Oh, Frankie, you in your third grade vocabulary, you can't spell. Okay, thank you, John Suggs, for.
But on Bharte, it surprises me that she retired early, but in a way it don't because a lot of people don't realize, like, for her example, she's probably been playing tennis since she's 4 or 5 years old. It's not like she's just been playing tennis for the professional time. Right. So when you're an athlete and you're preparing physically and mentally for that for all those years, it's easy to get burnt out and be ready to move on to something else. It's just most people don't do that when they're at the top of their sport like she was.
He said.
He said autocorrect. Autocorrect does get you sometimes, though.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good, Frankie.
He got his head stuck on the Cowboy. You know what? Hey, I do, man, because you know what? It's been a rough year, man, for my Cowboys. So I do tend to have flashbacks. Let me tell you. You got PTSD from the Cowboys, let me tell you.
Well, Jay, you know who else has had a rough year, but now it's getting better? The man up on the
Kyrie Irving, baby.
He's back. He's free. He's able to play at home.
Thank God. I don't want Brooklyn having excuses for why they didn't win the NBA title. I don't want people making excuses of why Brooklyn didn't win the NBA title. So now you got your golden boy. You got Kyrie Irving back. You got him teamed up with Kevin Durant. As long as Kevin Durant stays healthy, you team up with Kyrie Irving, they are going to be a special team. They just will be because you also got, what's his name, Seth Curry, and you got Drummond. Drummond's doing a hell of a good job, honestly, with these guys. He's getting lots and lots of rebounds, which is what they paid him to come in there and do, was get rebounds, and he's doing just that. So I think, obviously we don't know what Ben Simmons is going to bring to the table yet because he hasn't been able to stay healthy enough. He's got an L4 disc issue right now that's keeping him sidelined. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't think Simmons comes back this year, to be honest. I think he stays out the rest of the year. I think he misses the playoffs. I think maybe we see Ben Simmons next year, but I don't think Ben Simmons is going to be a factor this year. So now that tells you, does the Brooklyn Nets have enough between Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Can that duo be enough to compete against the likes of Milwaukee, against the likes of Miami? And if they do make it out of there, can they compete with the West and the likes of, Memphis or Phoenix or Golden State? And I just don't think they have enough, Logan. I really don't think that the Nets are going to have enough to really make that big of an impact. I just don't feel it this year in this team. What do you think?
This is where you would love to have Ben Simmons because they don't have enough defense, I don't think. And that's where Simmons would really come in and help them out.
Absolutely.
I'm glad Kyrie's finally able to play home games. I get there's 10 games left in the season or whatever. But as it currently stands, gentlemen, they are going to play the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs, and Kyrie can't go overseas. He can't go to Canada. He can't play over there because of the mandates. So that's going to be interesting.
So you still lose Kyrie Irving for away
as it stands. As it stands, that could change, of course. But as of today, that's how it's looking. Also, John Suggs, yes, I did see some guy.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
I don't know what he was getting his haircut for, but I'm sure he paid his barber a good amount of money for that one. He said, "Won't be long till Irving makes up another stupid excuse not to play ball. Watch."
He did that barber cut it for free because let's be honest, if I got a courtside view of the game and I'm cutting hair and I'm going to get all this exposure because people are going to want to know who the hell I am cutting hair.
Yeah, I forget the celebrity's name. I forget what he might be a content creator or whatever, but I did see that. And I'm like, wow, he's really. I wonder what the people beside him were thinking. Whenever they just saw a guy with.
Hey man, why you get all this hair on me, man? Keep your hair to yourself.
But
what do you think about the people that sat behind him who paid all that money and they got a view of the Clipper guy stand up in front of them? That would piss me off.
I would be upset. I would be raising.
Shoot. I'd be more than upset. I'd be asking for some money back.
Mm-hmm. You ain't wrong. But going back to the Nets, I don't know if they can get to the finals. I think they can definitely get out of the first round. But like you said, the competition in the East, there's 3 teams currently tied for second at the moment, all with the same record. So it's going to be tough. He said, Kyrie does look like Pride a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of has that little look to him.
If Pride could grow a goatee like that, he would fit it, I think. Maybe
and don't blow up that man's head more than it's already blown up either.
Who Pride? I know he's got
Pride's got a big head, man. Listen. Don't be blowing that man's head up because he'll be on the morning show talking about it. I promise.
Oh, you know he will. But yeah, I think the Nets can. I don't know. I think get out of the first round for sure. Just kind of depends on who they play the second round. I don't see him getting it this year just because they don't have that much chemistry. Harden left. Durant was out for a good amount of time. Kyrie's been so. Just when he's been playing, he's been good, but he's only played half the games or whatever this season. And like I said, I just don't think they have that big defensive presence at the moment that you would need. If they had Simmons, I think they could go further. But since he's not probably going to play, I don't see him doing it. What do you think, Chris?
Well, first of all, in Irving, I'm glad he's finally getting to play home games. I think he kind of got done wrong in this situation.
Oh yeah, I think we're all in agreement with you and all of our fans.
Because the only reason that why couldn't you undone this mandate a month and a half ago? You could have. They done it now for one reason, because it was going to affect the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they done it now.
Oh, that's a good point, Gonzo. That's a good point.
Yeah, because if an unvaccinated player for either the Mets or the Yankees, they were going to miss up to 92 games this season because you played 82 at home, I think 9 or 10 against the Mets. Or no, it was like 8 or I think 3 or 4, and then 8 or 9 against the Blue Jays for the Yankees. So I mean, that's a large part of the season. But
yeah, they were going to lose Aaron Judge for like 90 games, and the mayor didn't want to have to deal with all the backlash on the Yankees, players not getting to play. That's why he done it now.
Yeah, because we know
Irving should have been allowed to play
Yankees
2 months ago.
Yankees fans are a different breed.
But
it is ridiculous. The whole thing was just the way they handled the whole thing. To me, was just. I mean, at what level do you common sense not play? I mean, look, if Joe Schmucks like us can see common sense, how the hell does elected officials not see common sense as well?
I wouldn't have had a problem with it if, okay, a visiting team's player if he was unvaccinated and if he couldn't play in New York as well. But it made no sense that a visiting player could play, but just because Kyrie lives in New York, he can't. It made no sense at all.
At least we can finally shut that down for now. We've talked about it for a while. At least it's over. John saying, who would you rather want on defense, Gobert or Van Fleet? Everyone says Gobert, but I'm telling you, Van Fleet's been a beast on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really compare them, I don't think, because Van Fleet's a perimeter defender and Gobert's in the paint. You know, you can't really. Yeah. That's apples to oranges. I think in terms of defense, though, I do think that Van Fleet is a really good defensive guy. But Gobert gets you a hell of a lot of rebounds too, though. You got to think about that. So you get defense plus rebounds from Gobert. So I think I'm still going to stay with Gobert, to be honest. With you. Yeah. Plus, at least he gets blocks, rebounds, all that good stuff. He said Irvin doesn't want to play basketball. That's why they kept the mandate. That's not real.
I don't make no sense.
No, David, come on. Why couldn't they just make him wear a stupid mask because it was silly? I mean, we saw high school kids, college players, they can wear masks. I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't call it stupid, but I mean, he would look a little bit less fashionable. I don't know. Some of those masks, you can make them look fashionable if you put money into them, I guess. You can blame them up kind of nice. I mean, if they put any amount of effort into making a nice, safe mask for what they wear for their outfits pregame and postgame, hey, look, pretty stylish. If people could put diamonds in their teeth, they can put diamonds on a mask. That would look crazy. That would look pretty nice. Have it like glow in the dark or something. Oh yeah, that could look pretty cool. I want to see that in the playoffs now. Someone be bold and do that. Pretenders or contenders in the NBA? I'm gonna tell you right now, Chicago's pretenders. Chicago is pretenders. I don't care what anybody says. They haven't beaten a top 3 team this year, I don't think. No, they're definitely like 0-19. Obviously, you know the Lakers are pretenders. We all know that. Yeah. I told you, Jay, I had the Lakers barely getting in at the 10 seed. Currently, they are 10. They play the Pelicans tomorrow for possession of 9. So that's a big game. If they can win it, that's great, but I don't know if they can. We'll see. But yeah, it's tough, man. The NBA is crazy this year. Gonzo, tell me right or wrong. You think Utah Jazz are pretenders?
I don't know. The Jazz are a team I feel are right on the edge there because they have so much. They can have so much offensive power. I just don't know if they have the defense to hang with the top teams.
Exactly. I call them pretenders only because we've seen this the last couple of seasons where they're in a really good spot, but they just don't have that defense that it sucks they traded Ingles because he was a really good
bench guy for him. Or was it? He's hurt.
He's hurt, and I think they traded him. If I'm not mistaken.
Did they trade him after he got hurt?
That might have been. Let me check real quick.
I was going to say the same thing. Missing Ingles.
He got traded to the Trailblazers.
Okay, they traded him after he got hurt. Okay,
yeah. But he was a good bench piece. I don't think they go far. I think they're kind of stuck in that place where they haven't really made a big move recently. I mean, I know they have Clarkson who's been good. Obviously Mitchell and Gobert are a really good team, or a really good duo. I feel like you just need someone else, right? And I mean, Conley was nice. He's doing good things, but I don't know. I just don't see the Jazz going super far. Exactly. And the way I feel about the Jazz is the same way I feel about the Nuggets. I think both of them are I think they're good above 500 teams, but I think that's where the buck stops. I think they're just above 500 teams. They're not going to get you a championship the way it's currently. If the Nuggets were healthy,
I think they would be contenders.
Yeah, if they had Murray, I think they'd be a top 4 teteam.
Michael Porter Jr.
If they had Michael Jordan, they'd be doing good. I'm just hold on. So he said, "Are the Cavs pretenders? Look at their last 10 games. Yeah, they're 5-5 their last 10. I mean, I felt they've kind of veered off, honestly. About All-Star break, they were looking really hot. I think they got up to the 3 seed at one point, but I don't think the Cavs are going to go far. If they do, great for them.
Miami's worrying about fighting each other.
I'm about to say Miami. I don't know what's going on with Miami.
I still think, honestly, out of the East, I like Miami and Milwaukee going at it in the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals.
I think So I mean I like the Celtics too. The Celtics have been real hot. They won 5 in a row.
Yeah, the Celtics they have
make
been
a good
hot.
run.
Man, what is one like seven game win streak or
5
game win streak, something like that?
I remember, man. I said the All-Star break, watch out for the Celtics, and here they are. I think so. If I had to go with, I guess, I don't know, 2 or 3 contenders per each side. For the East, I'll go with the Celtics. I'm gonna go with the Hawks. Go with my team. That's my boys. I know they sucked a little bit this year, but they're still going in there. And
Logan, you know those Hawks are pretenders. You know those Hawks are pretenders.
I'm not giving up on my team. If the Rockets were in the same
beat
position,
the Warriors last night.
Yeah, I would say if the Rockets and the Pacers were in the same position, I'll be saying the same thing.
The Rockets are a rebuild. We've only won 15 games.
That's why I said if. And also, John,
the Pacers are worse than pretenders.
John, if you let me finish, I was going to say the Sixers, I think, could be contenders this year. So you're welcome. Let's see what else we got here. All right, y'all been going crazy in the comments. Thank y'all. Damian, think about Kyrie. Started this before the pandemic just to get away from the court. Blah 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 blah. Yes, he cares about basketball. If he didn't care about basketball, he'd be retired. Pretty much, guys. Agreement. Yay.
Yep.
Man, right. The man just went off for 60 against Orlando. You know he still cares about basketball.
Obviously.
Kyrie just does Kyrie-like things for whatever reason.
He is an odd personality, and we will leave it at that. So my 3 teams out the East one more time. I'll go the Sixers. I'll go the Hawks. All right, I'll make it 4. Screw it. I'll go Sixers, Celtics, Hawks, and I don't know. Why not the Heat, right? I like the fiery engine. They'll be knocking people out of the playoffs.
No Milwaukee?
I don't know. I got beef against Milwaukee. They beat us last year.
Freaking Logan, man. Holding grudges.
In the East,
that's how I do
it.
In the
East, I would have the Nets.
Logan is so salty about that, man.
I'd have the Nets, the Celtics, the Sixers, and the Bucks would be the contenders I'd have in the East.
Yeah, I think my 4 would be the Nets. Pretty much the same thing you said. The Nets, the Sixers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and Miami. Those would be my 4.
All right, let's go over to the West. Damian said, "Hot take: the Suns are pretenders." Someone go and show Coach Evan that.
Damian, listen. I'm all for off-the-wall comments, but at least have at least a little bit of validity in there.
Are you all right tonight? Are you doing good, Damian? Because your comments been a little bit wet.
Damian's on that drink. You know what I'm saying?
He said the Suns are pretenders just because they always look good in the season and always. What do you mean always look good? They've only been doing it for 1 year. And this ain't the 90s anymore.
Wow.
Hey, right, we know his thoughts. But all right, let's start with the pretenders, right? Let's give a couple of lists here. Let's see. So I'll go ahead and kick things off. Pretenders, I got the Lakers, the Pelicans. Obviously 9 and 10. I don't think we're gonna go far. The Mavericks, I don't trust them. I don't trust the Mavs.
Yeah, I don't.
And the Nuggets only say the Nuggets because if they had Murray, they'd be looking a lot better. But I don't think they're gonna make it far without him. So those are my pretenders.
Yeah, I think for me, the 3 pretenders I have, and when I think of a pretender, I think of a team that that should be great, but is just not going to do it, and that's what I consider a pretender. So obviously the Lakers, because they're on paper they look amazing, but then in real life, obviously they're not. So I got the Lakers for that reason. I got the Nuggets, I got the Jazz, and my 4th pretender, I'm gonna give you 4, would be the Clippers. I think those are. I think the Jazz. I mean, not the Jazz. I think the Mavericks. I still think they have something left to prove. I don't know if they're quite. I can't quite put them in the pretenders just yet because they did make that trade and they are looking pretty decent. And Luka Doncic, you can never count Luka Doncic out. So I just feel like for that reason that I don't have the Mavs quite in the pretender category as I do the rest, but it's still left to be seen.
What you got for your pretenders, Gonzo?
I have Lakers, the Jazz, the Dallas Mavericks. That'd be my 3 pretenders.
All right. Contenders. Who we think is going to go deep in the West?
Oh, you already know. You already know. If you don't have, let me tell you something right now. If you don't have my basic 3 in there, you need to get checked. You obviously got Phoenix, Memphis, Golden State. If you're three teams, and it could be in any order, but if you're three teams, aren't those three teams, you need to go get checked and make sure you're watching the proper basketball.
All right. I'll go with 4 just because I feel like I'm with all those 3, and I just want to throw another one in there because we haven't said them yet. Screw it. Let's go Timberwolves, right? Only their second postseason appearance since 2005. So, hey, congrats to them.
And Karl Anthony Towns has been balling.
Yeah, he's been real good. Cat's been good. John
don't feed that fuel, Gonzo. Don't feed that.
Yeah. He said, which team you think is better, the Grizz or the Warriors in the playoffs?
That all depends on if Steph Curry's healthy.
Yeah, if Steph's healthy, Warriors. Just because
it depends on if Steph Curry is healthy. And not only if he's healthy, but if his shot is on point. Because let me be honest, even when he was healthy, he was struggling with that 3-point shot. So he's got to have his 3-point shot in effect in order for that team to go anywhere.
And honestly, Draymond Green has to be healthy because if Draymond Green ain't playing, they're in trouble.
So Damon's got his pretenders here: the Suns, the Mavs, and the Raptors. And then he's got OKC. Is OKC in the playoffs still? Are they? I thought they're out. Or am I crazy? Where's OKC at?
OKC's not even anywhere near the playoffs. Don't entertain Damien. You said the Bulls. Thunder ain't in that playoffs.
You said the Bulls, the Jazz, the Heat, the Cavs. Who do you like, Damien? You listed half the team. Who do you like?
The Suns, 76ers, and Celtics are all good teams.
Yeah, I'm about to say. He said, do you think the Spurs will make it to the play-in game? I think they're what? 2 games? Maybe.
What? Who said that?
John Suggs.
No, John. No, they're not going to make it to the play-in. And that's a Texas team. And I hate to say about Texas teams. You know how much I love Texas. But no, they will not make the play-in.
How far off are they from making?
They're not far. So the Pelicans.
They're probably about 3 games, 2 to 3 games.
No. So the Spurs are 30-44. The
Pelicans one game back.
Are 31-43. Yeah, they're only 1 game back. So if the Lakers can beat the Pelicans tonight, and I don't know if the Spurs play, I mean they'll either be tied or the Spurs could take it over.
Okay, let me correct myself, John. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the standings a little bit closer now, and I see what you're saying. And yeah, honestly, New Orleans and the Lakers could very well slip out of the 9 and 10 spot, and San Antonio very well could slide up into the 10 or 9 spot.
It's between those 3 teams for 9 and 10 though, because the Blazers are 3 games behind.
How many games we have left in the season? Is it 8 games left or 9 games?
I think 10.
I want to see
John. Very easily. Because the Lakers can't win. The Lakers aren't going to win all those games.
Too. They got
I hope they make it. I hope the Lakers miss the playoff. I hope the Lakers don't even make the playoff.
God, how great would that be to see the Lakers miss the playoffs?
I told you I got the Lakers at 10, and I said barely a couple of weeks ago. I'll stick to it. I'm sticking to it.
It is going to be great on the ASAP in the morning that next morning when the Lakers don't make the play-in.
Freddie will be crying. He'll be like, no, John, Chris, he'll be taking a sick day.
Yeah, he definitely will be taking a sick day.
All right, Jay, back to football.
All right, so who has improved the most in the NFL this offseason? I'm going to tell you who I think improved the most. Denver makes a good shot at it because of them actually finding a field general to actually move that team where it needs to go. So that's a pretty big one. And then you look at – I think the Chargers made the best offseason moves, to be honest with you. Bringing in Jackson, bringing in oh gosh, who was that linebacker there? Khalil Mack, and then I think they've added enough over this offseason. And if Justin Herbert comes back and plays Justin Herbert like things, the only thing that I would have liked to have seen them bring in maybe one more wide receiver, just because I know Keenan Allen is good and Williams is good. I just think they're maybe one wide out away or a really good tight end away. They don't have I think there's something maybe on offense they're still lacking. But I do think that they upgraded quite considerably on the defensive side of the ball. And not to mention the Raiders have actually made some good acquisitions as well. I don't want to overlook them as well. But I think this Chargers team, in my opinion, has improved the most over all the other teams.
So, Jay, just to recap, the entire AFC West.
Pretty much. Hey, am I saying the AFC West? Probably. I think I really do, though, man. Look, the AFC West has made a lot of acquisitions, man. How do you not look at that whole division? Yeah. And say that whole division has not improved itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That's a real good point. Who you got, Chris?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. are the most improved with getting Devontae Adams. And I think that the Raiders I can't think of the guy's name. They brought another player too. Didn't they bring a defensive guy in?
Yeah, they got Jones. From Arizona.
Yeah, so with bringing them two guys in, and I just they got a new head coach. I think the Raiders are in great position. And then other than that, I have to go with the Chargers and the Broncos. So basically about the same.
But you know what though, Gonzo? I think I don't want to overlook, and I wanted to say this too. I didn't want to overlook Indianapolis. The fact they brought in, I think Matt Ryan, and if Indianapolis could somehow or another, if they could go out there and snag Jarvis Landry and bring Jarvis Landry into the fold, I think that Indianapolis team is going to be one to look at as well.
Yeah, I think the Colts did good.
The only reason I didn't say the Colts was because we need a weapon. If we get a weapon, I think we're going. I think Matt Ryan was a good. I was happy with what they ended up doing with getting Matt Ryan.
Well, because you're getting a proven guy. You know what Matt Ryan's going to bring to the table. He's not going to give you a lot of turnovers. He's going to make good decisions. He's not going to be the fancy guy after throwing a million miles, but he's going to give you good, solid production and good decision making at that position. So I think if you could team him up with like a Jarvis Landry, who is just like him, who's a proven guy, a guy who will catch the ball, a guy who will give you production. That very well could turn that to, and you team that up with the likes of Jamal or Taylor.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You have one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. But yeah, for me, obviously, I got the boys back there, the silver and black, obviously. Devontae.
Yeah. They got Devontae Adams was amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I still can't believe they pulled it off. But I'm going to go I wouldn't say most improved because it really wasn't much of an all-season move. Obviously, the Buccaneers, they got Tom Brady back. That's a really good acquisition, I would say. I would give credit to the Jaguars just for throwing money at 90 people and all of them signing. That's gonna be a whole new team.
They were the right people.
Yeah, I don't know, but they've probably spent the most. I don't know if I spent the most, but I know they've probably gotten the most amount of people this free agency. So I would say that I would hope they would improve. So we got John said, I say the Titans fill that wide receiver spot with Robert Woods. I said Julio had a bad year, so he thinks the Titans had the best offseason. I mean, that could be an underrated move.
I'm just going to fully believe that Tannehill is the guy to get them all the way there.
Yeah. Who are they going to get, Damian? Cam Newton.
Newton. I'd take Matt Ryan over Newton any day.
Damian, please go get some water. Maybe make you a nice peanut butter jelly. Something's a little bit wrong with you.
Stop drinking the wine and go get some water.
Look, we love you, but if you say anywhere on the planet that Cam Newton at this day and age is better than Matt Ryan after what happened last year, I don't know. I'm just saying. And I like that.
But I do, you know what? I do like what the Raiders have done, man. The Raiders have done quite a bit. And I do like, the fact that Miami got Tyreek Hill. Miami is just, God, I think if Miami could have just pulled in anybody that's worth their salt, whether it be, Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson or even a Baker. I still like Baker. I think if they brought even a Baker Mayfield, I think that they could have made that team really, really, really special.
You know what they might be doing now that I kind of thought about it for a couple of days? We still don't know if Deshaun's going to get suspended or not for a couple of games. If he does get suspended for a minimum, then they're just going to have Baker step in, and then after those couple of games,
that's true though. Because why cut bait if you don't know 100%?
Right. And I mean,
they don't believe in Brissett enough that he's going to carry the load.
Ain't no way.
Did you guys watch any of that? Did you guys watch any of that Deshaun Watson press conference yesterday?
I didn't watch any of it. I was so busy watching college football. I didn't watch any of it.
I just saw where he said, he was denying it and everything. I didn't watch the whole thing.
So I know he just got acquitted.
Okay.
And I thought he handled himself great yesterday.
He handled himself professional. He didn't really speak a whole lot on it. He said that he didn't do what everyone's saying, and played a fair game. I mean, I said we'll see.
And again, so Brazoria County and Texas, Brazoria County, which is kind of where I'm from, they basically came out and said that they basically did the same thing as what their grand jury came out, and they said that he wasn't at fault either. Criminally, he wasn't at fault. So, I mean, I don't know what Roger Goodell is going to do to him from the NFL side of things, but I say, man, you know what? Let the man play. He was found not guilty by you know.
I'm sorry.
You're killing me tonight, Damien. You're killing me tonight.
Cam Newton is young. He can't do nothing about that. That's just how it works. A better arm than Matt Ryan.
Did you watch Cam Newton play in New England?
Did you see him play at all last season?
There's a reason why the Carolina Panthers are looking at going with Darnold over Newton in Carolina. And that's saying something. If you're going to go with Darnold, you know Darnold is a horrible quarterback. So just go with him over Cam.
Can I just reiterate something real quick? In the last 2 seasons, Cam Newton has thrown 15 interceptions and only 12 touchdowns. I mean, that's a franchise quarterback, Damien. You're going to really franchise into the dirt. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was available. Ron Rivera didn't even want to get him in Washington, and Rivera was the one that coached him all those years.
If this was 5 years ago, you might have a statement. You might have something, but
you might be able to get away with Cam Newton as a backup. But Cam Newton's going to take it. He's not going to take it.
Matt Ryan is actually going to have an offensive line for maybe the first or second time in his whole career now.
And Matt Ryan he put up terrible numbers last year with Atlanta.
He didn't have much to throw to. Trust me, I watched a lot of those games. He didn't have much to throw to. He didn't have any time to throw to him. But no, I would not take Cam Newton over Matt Ryan at all.
All right, we're going to move on now. Dave Roberts gets a contract extension and predicts a World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, mind you, he came into the organization in 2016. And since coming into the organization, he's won 872 games. His record is 542 wins and 330 losses. That gives him a 622% win percentage, which is a hell of a good win percentage. I'll take anything over 500, honestly. So 622 as your win percentage. He's won the World Series in 2020. He's got 5 National League West crowns. I mean, he's done quite a bit for the Los Angeles Dodgers to make those types of claims. I get what he's saying. He did lose his closer, Jansen, to the Braves. Hello, Logan. And they're going to use a closer by committee to do this year. I don't know how well that's going to work out for them, but we'll see. The 2020 MVP, Corey Seeger, signed with Texas Rangers, so he lost his MVP from that year. He also lost Scherzer, and Trevor Bauer is unknown. And also they did add Freeman to first base, so you got some losses. You got some additions. Trey Turner is going to go over to, I believe, second base. In order to play the shortstop, he's going to go over to second base, I believe it is. On the Dan Patrick Show, he declared that the Dodgers will win the 2022 World Series.
I mean, bold prediction.
Watch this. If, Logan, here's the key now. If, and this is where the caveat comes in for him, I think. He's saying they will win the 2022 World Series if his rotation will stay healthy and they get the full season into effect. And I will say this, and I'm gonna end my little rant on this, is that Roberts, I don't know if you know how Major League Baseball, or I don't even know if you know how competitive sports work in general. But anytime you make statements, you come out and make bold statements like that, all that does is give competitive fire to your predecessors or the people that are trying to go up against your opponents. So I'm just saying, I probably would have kept that sentiment to myself. I probably would have talked about that sentiment to my team, but I don't think I'm going to make that a public declaration because I don't need added fuel to the fire going into the season, and that's just me. Logan?
There's going to be a full season, they've already said. I mean, obviously, you're going to think your team's going to win the World Series if your rotation can say – every team's going to say that. But I get if you're saying this during the World Series, right, if you make it there. But there's 162 freaking games to play.
Yeah.
I understand giving him the extension. He's earned it. He really has earned that contract extension. Like you said, they pretty much dominated the NL West. I get that they got the wild card last year. But, I mean, that whole division was stacked with them and the Giants battling for it the whole year. But it's weird hearing a manager say this, not a player, right? And
it is weird.
I get Roberts was a former player, right, back in the day. But it's just really – I like the confidence, but I don't know how smart of a move it is saying this publicly as opposed to behind closed doors. I don't get it. We got John chiming in. He said his top 3 teams in NL, Braves, Reds.
Hey, I like this John Suggs guy.
Braves, Reds, and Dodgers. I don't know who's on the Reds.
Are the top three.
I can't name you 5 players from the Reds, and Joey Votto is 4 of the 5. The American League, you got the White Sox, Houston, and the Rays. No Yankees. Also, why? He's got to be a Reds fan. He's got to be.
Just because the Reds traded everybody, don't mean we're not going to be good. No, come on.
Yeah, just because you're going to have tarp guys and peanut vendors being in your team, don't mean they're going to be.
Look. I say that, but honestly, the Reds. I know it's spring training, but the Reds haven't looked bad in spring training. We've actually looked better in spring training than we have in a long time in spring training. So.
And Damien, this is something I agree with you on. What are they smoking in LA? Also, Len and Chris, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing good. You said, in my opinion, those would be the ranks would be at the end of the year. And also, you're a Braves fan and you think the Reds are going to go far. I mean, props to you for the like-minded, really good thinking.
Reds are going far this year.
Hey, but here's the deal with the Yankees. I don't care how much money they spend on this baseball team. They have not produced jack squat with as high payroll as they have. They have not put up jack squat with the highest payroll as they have.
They haven't won a championship in 12 years.
But yet, how much money have they spent on baseball?
More than we'll ever see combined in our lifetimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless we get that.
That's what I think. It goes back to, can Major League Baseball teams grow at a small market level? And I'm going to tell you right now, if you look at the last 12 years, the big market teams are not doing as well as the small market teams.
Hey Jay, let me say something too. In the last 12 years, the Rays have had more success than the Yankees. Look in the postseason. Rays have went to the World Series.
It's true. No, it's true.
The Rays have won the East. The Yankees ain't been
with one of the lowest payrolls.
Exactly. Yankees ain't been to the World Series since 2009.
Hell, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Before the Oakland A's decided to disband their team this year,
that's a yearly occurrence, Jay.
The Oakland A's, what they spent, got more for their money's worth than what the Yankees did. And just let that sink in for a minute. What the A's spent for their money and what the Yankees spent for their money, the A's came out on the better end of the stick financially because they didn't have to blow nearly as much money. Yet they had the same record, if not better record than the Yankees.
What was the thing I sent y'all? The A's have spent $0 this year, and the Yankees or the Dodgers spent like $400 million or something. It's crazy.
It's stupid. It's crazy how much money have they spent. It's ridiculous.
So the Bengals have a better chance to win the Super Bowl than the Reds have. That's not a good comparison, I don't think.
You can't say that.
No shit. The Bengals.
You can say that, but I mean that's like
saying the Houston Texans have a better chance of winning than the Reds.
Hold on. You know what that is? That's Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
That's a Captain Obvious moment. Of course, the Bengals have a better chance than the Reds do. That's Captain Obvious.
They were one win away.
No, from now on, Damien Hernandez.
They're like 5 minutes away.
I have an announcement. Damien Hernandez, from now on, when you make a comment, from now on, I am not going to say your name. I'm just simply going to say Captain Obvious. When I say Captain Obvious, I'm referring to Damien Hernandez. And I love you, Damien. Keep commenting. We love you, though. I don't want you to take that offensively, but you are obvious.
Yeah. I'm about to say, Damien, we do have the option to put you in timeout. That is a feature here on stream. I don't know what it does, but we do have the feature.
Timeout.
I'm gonna need to use that one day. It's just a test run. We'll see what happens. I'm about to say,
James Wiseman is out for the year.
Also true. Also, it's in the 18 now.
Duh.
All right, let's move on to basketball.
But listen, guys, listen. James Wiseman is out for the year for Golden State Warriors. You know, and we were talking about this during pre-show that it seems like Wiseman is starting to take on kind of a Greg Oden-esque career with all because he still has swelling in his knee. He went to the G League and was actually performing pretty well in the G League. He was getting ready to come back, but then they noticed there was a lot of swelling in his kneecap, and of course that's when they shut him down. And they basically said, "Okay, Wiseman, you're just done for the season. We're gonna let you rehab the rest of the year. Come back next year. We'll see what we can do with you." But, his knees are just not doing very well. And he's not that old, guys. Wiseman is so young. For him to have these kind of knee issues is alarming. It's very, very alarming to me. And I hate to say this, but I don't know if Wiseman is going to be able to be the prototypical player that he was supposed to or projected to be in the NBA just because of injuries that have happened, much like Greg Oden had his injuries. And it's a shame because I think Wiseman has a lot of talent, but his body just won't let him use it, Logan.
Yeah, this guy really hasn't even played that much basketball. Let's be real. He played 3 games in college. He played, what was it last year? Maybe 40 at most?
I think it was about 40 games. It wasn't very much.
And then this past season, he hasn't really played a whole lot either. This past year, he's played, I don't know how many, if you guys can find, I have trouble here. But, he hasn't played that much. It sucks to see, but it ain't looking good, honestly. And they drafted him high too. Let's not forget they drafted this guy, I think 3, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm the Warriors, I'm kind of regretting a little bit. Hopefully he can come back, he can get healthy, and play some more. But only playing in 40 games in pretty much just one season. That ain't good. That it really ain't good. He's played, he ain't played much. That you hate to see it, but he just not played a lot of basketball.
So in 2020, he played 39 games.
So has he not even played this year? Or am I crazy?
And there's no. My stats only goes back to March 25th, but since March 25th, he hasn't played in any games at all. Or excuse me, March 7th. He only goes to go to March 7th.
Yeah,
so from March 7th to March 25th, he's played in no games.
He ain't played no games this year.
So he's only played 39 games his whole career.
Yes. Oh, pretty much. I think that's a fair statement.
That ain't looking good. Ooh, hate to see that.
And that's in a 2-year period, so we'll have to wait and see where it translates from here. But man, for a guy that's so young to have so many injuries, it's just not looking good. Gonzo, what is your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, it's not good, and it does look like he's going down the Greg Oden trail, but I think if some of this don't go back to how much basketball these guys play in like AAU and stuff, because all that wear and tear on your body eventually catches up with you. And some of these bigger guys, I think it catches up to them even quicker because, hell, when you're 7 foot and you're running around like a 6'2" guy, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, Chris, is they were basing this guy pretty much off of practices, high school ball, and workouts. Because like I said, they only played 3 games at Memphis because they did have some stuff going on that we'll talk more about on Tuesday, because Memphis is in more legal trouble for basketball. But he's only played like 50 games in 2-3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount that he has played and hasn't played.
Speaking of just Memphis basketball, go to the NBA. Morant's going to be out for 2 weeks. They'll just shut him down for the rest of the regular season. There's no need to. They've already locked in a playoff spot, I think.
Yeah, I would shut him down.
Yeah,
I would shut him down, and then I would just bring it back when the playoffs start. Honestly,
I was going to say, like he's saying, they've done good without him.
Fine without him.
Yeah.
Also, he said, I'm doing a pride. I'm taking a sabbatica. I think you mean sabbatical. Screw y'all.
Hey, Jamie, man. You know we love you. we didn't mean to offend you, Jamie. Come on.
We're sorry,
Jamie. We're playing.
All right, jeez. All right, Jay, we got a clip here. It's about a minute and a half. I want to play this for y'all in case you haven't seen it, and for our viewers, if Damien's still around, if you haven't left us yet. It's a minute and a half of Stephen A. Smith and Chris Russo, who's the new co-anchor, whatever, on First Take.
Mad dog.
Then we'll give our thoughts on it. So enjoy this minute and a half of debauchery, or whatever you want to call it. Here we go.
Do you agree with him that Ja could be the next Allen Iverson?
He's better than Allen Iverson. Because he makes a lot of people around him better. Iverson was a wonderful competitor, and he was he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a transcendent star. He's not a guy that is going to make a cast of characters around him on this level. Morant can do that. Iverson was a poor shooter, and he was a bad three-point shooter, and he was not great if you look at his shooting percentages in the huge game. Now, listen, he's a Hall of Famer. Nobody's arguing that. He led the league in scoring the whole 9 yards. Moran has got that special quality that has a tendency to make a lot of those guys in that team who want Dylan Brooks, who want great players, to rise them to a level. And he's in a better conference than Iverson was in the old Eastern Conference, which was never great when he played there in the late 90s and the early 2000s. If you're asking me right now, who is going to have a better career and who's going to be more transcendent in the NBA, it's not even a contest. Morant is going to be much better than Allen Iverson.
Not even a contest.
I'm not knocking him.
Not even a contest.
Is somebody talking? Oh,
yeah.
What?
What?
What? You came on this show to dispute that blasphemy? Have you? What?
Blasphemy?
What?
He's a Hall
Let
of
me tell
Famer.
you
He's
something,
not
doggy.
immoral.
If I was in there, listen. I'm gonna get after this break. I'm warning you right now. I'm gonna give you. After this break, I'm gonna call South Street Seaport. I'm gonna call security to have you removed from this studio. I can't believe what you just.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, here's I'm gonna give you a real quick synopsis, and then I'll let you guys give y'all a synopsis. I just want to say this: Stephen A. is not wrong for saying that, and the points that Doug was making about Morant were valid, but the point that was invalid was he said this is not a contest. Now, that right there is, if you say it's not a contest, you obviously don't watch basketball. That means you are not involved. You are not looking at what it is to be Allen Iverson and what he's done. He's only got the best damn handles in the game. And yet you want to say it's not a contest? Now, you can talk about field goal percentage all you want, and I get that. But it's not to say it's not a contest is a little bit erratic. It's a little bit too far left for my liking. I do think, however, in a comma, I will agree with his takes on Iverson. I think Morant's ceiling is a little bit higher than Iverson's. I think his ceiling for what he can do is higher than Iverson's because he's only been in the league a very short period of time, and we're already talking about him in MVP conversations. I mean, think about that for me. We're already talking about him in MVP conversations, and he's only been in the league a couple of years. And now, although the Memphis Grizzlies have gone 16-2 without him, that just shows you how good this Memphis Grizzlies team is. The Memphis Grizzlies team is just phenomenal. And to have a Morant on a Grizzlies team that's already phenomenal is dangerous. It's dangerous. But what Morant has done in the paint, the way he has dominated at his height, at his position, and dominated the paint to the likes even of a Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I know I'm saying his name wrong, is unheard of. So I do think that Morant has got a few things to improve upon. He does have to improve upon his free throws shooting. I don't like the way he shoots the free throws. But outside of the free throws shooting, the guy is just lights out electric. And his ceiling is only going to get higher. It's not going to get lower. It's only going to get higher from here. So I do think over time, he will be better at the end of the day than what Iverson was. And that's a strong statement because Iverson was, in my opinion, a hell of a good point guard. Like one of the best. Not the best, but one of the best. Logan?
Before I get to my thoughts, John said I might lend to Iverson because Morant has more weapons around him to open more. Iverson had to carry his team on his own.
And that's a good point. It's a good point. I get that point.
Damien said, I'm out this fool. He said there is no comparison to Iverson at all. And like what John said, I mean, that 2000, 2001 Sixers team, it was Iverson, Eric Snow, an old Dikembe Mutombo. Well, I forget the Dikembe played so long, Jay. He played for the Rockets in like 2007.
Yeah, Dikembe's been around for a hot minute.
I forgot he played so long. But I mean, that wasn't a team of all-stars or nothing, right? It was Iverson and a bunch of kind of other guys in a way. Like we said with Morant, I mean, he's only been in the league, 2-3 years maybe? And he looks really good. Don't get me wrong. He's been a good player. He's been a very good player. But he doesn't have all the accolades yet, obviously. We, knock on wood, we hope he'll stay healthy because Iverson did struggle with a little bit of injuries and whatnot. And I think that it's way too early for this comparison.
It is.
Between a guy who played
early. It's very early
years in the league and someone who's not even played 5. But looking at just the career percentages so far, Iverson's got him beaten points by about 5. Turnovers are about equal. Iverson also, I think people forget how good of Iverson was with steals too. he averaged 2 steals a game. He was more active on defense than I think some people might have thought. Assists, they're about the same. Morant has beat by 1. And then when you look at the shooting percentages are kind of, like scaled because, like I said, Morant's not finished yet. They both can't hit threes. I mean, they're both 33 or less percent 3-point shooters. They both can't shoot threes that good. And I mean, Iverson, he, his thing was getting to the basket and layups too. And also, Iverson was a lot shorter. Let's not forget. Iverson was not the height of Morant is. You didn't see Iverson making these crazy dunks that Morant can do. It just is what it is. So you can't compare these two now. Also, he said Iverson is better because he was on Space Jam and he made MJ look silly a few times. He's got, that is a, pop culture standpoint, sure. But yeah, no, you can't compare these two. Plus, like I said, Iverson's an MVP. He's at least taken his team to the finals. If Morant can get some trophies, get some awards, at the end of the day, yeah, maybe. But like Damian said, and I was just about to bring it up, Iverson did also change the NBA culture. So it is what it is. But what do you got, Chris?
It's way too early to be comparing Morant to Iverson. Do I think by the end of his career could Morant end up being, like Jay said, better than Iverson, have a higher ceiling? Yeah. Yes, I think that's possible because the way Morant's already on the trail he's already climbing that hill. But it's too early. You can't compare him to a Hall of Famer like Iverson after you've only been in the league for like 2 years. I think I think 2 or 3 years. It's just way too early. I understand what Russo's trying to say, but then to say that it's not even close.
No, it's close.
It's just way too early to be making this comparison. Let's see what Morant. This is basically Morant's first really breakout year. Yeah. Let's see what he does for the next 2 or 3 years before we start comparing him to Hall of Fame players and guys especially a guy like Iverson that changed the whole culture of the league. So,
also, too, Morant does have this amazing quote. We talking about practice? Yep.
Practice? We talking about practice? Hey, listen, but I do want to go on record. I want to go on record and say that my prediction that he will be better than Iverson is based on projections. I'm just projecting. Now that projection can go left, it can go right. If Morant's career ended today, he would not be better than Iverson. No. If Morant all of a sudden went into just a dumbfounded mode and just started playing like crap, he would be better than Iverson. But on the current trajectory that he's going, he would be better than Iverson. But it's based on projections, so don't nobody shoot me a message saying Jay's off his rocker.
Okay, speaking of current projections, we have our final topic here tonight.
Yes. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I like this. I like Seth Rollins because I think that Seth Rollins is just a crazy kind of guy. And I like Cody Rhodes because he's coming back to WWE after that long AEW stint that he had. And I'm going to say if I was doing this in the script of WWE, I'm going to say that Seth Rollins gets this win. I just don't know if they're going to give it to Cody Rhodes right off the bat, but I think it's going to be a great addition. What do you guys think, Logan?
I mean, we are literally 7 days away from WrestleMania. There's a 2-night. They're 2 nights now, and they're doing the whole thing of Seth Rollins can't get on the show. But there's 3 celebrity matches coming up with Johnny Knoxville, Logan Paul, and then I swear to God, there's another one. Pat McAfee. Yeah, Pat McAfee. Yeah. So you couldn't get Seth Rollins in there? I'm just saying. I mean, obviously it looks like it's going to happen. There's been rumors that they said that Cody signed a contract. There's been nothing public, no public appearances or nothing formal, right? But I think it would be a great match. I would think Cody would win since he'd be coming back after 7 years. So I mean, Seth can afford to lose. And they can, continue their rivalry for months, and it'll be fine. But I think it'll be a good match, and I don't know what night it'll be on, but I'd be excited to watch it. But you would think this upcoming Monday, Chris, on Raw, something's going to happen, because this past week Seth Rollins said he was going to boycott the show or shut it down or something like that. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
Go ahead.
Did you see? I guess online they also put out that Seth Rollins has Vince McMahon put out a thing that Seth Rollins has a meeting with Vince McMahon at 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
So something's going to come up. I kind of like the storyline they're doing that Rollins don't have a match.
If WrestleMania was one night, I could understand it more. But with it being 2 nights, it's a little thin. Also, they're not related. I don't believe. That would be that'd be a crazy. I don't think so.
They are. But yeah, I think this would be a great match.
Yeah, and then also we didn't throw in there, but yeah, prayers to Triple H. He retired from in-ring competition, and I think what we'll do is next week, Tuesday and Thursday, we'll do some Triple H matches. He retired. Jay, I don't know if you saw, they retired the other day on First Take with Stephen A. Officially, because he's had a very serious heart surgery in the last couple of months, and it wasn't looking good, but at least he's retiring from in-ring competition after 20 some odd years.
Yep.
So a really good career, man. And like I said, we'll throw 2 matches in there for you on Tuesday and Thursday. And we got John coming in. He said past few weeks Rollins tried to take Kevin Owens and AJ Styles spots at Mania, but came up short by losing a pair of single matches. Cody is going to win. They know the fans want Cody to win, but do they listen to the fans though? That's the big question. Do they listen to the fans, or do they say, "Yeah, you'll get it later"?
It all depends. To me, if they do make this match, the winners are going to depend on if they're planning on are they going to make a feud with these two and continue a storyline, or these two it's just this one-time match and they're putting them in different storylines. If they're going to continue this storyline, I could see maybe Rollins winning this match. Yeah. Setting up another match at their next pay-per-view.
And next week will be pretty wrestling heavy. Like I said, with WrestleMania coming up Saturday, Sunday. We're going to have special shows for Unscripted. We're going to be going live earlier on Saturday. I'm not sure what time it starts on that day, but we'll let you know. And so 2 episodes. Well, actually, we're going to have 4 episodes next week, Jay. So that's going to be an interesting time. We got Tuesday, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock, Saturday, and Sunday at whatever time WrestleMania starts. We're going to have some guests. We're going to have Chris. We're going to have Frankie C. We're going to have T. Ray Watford, independent wrestling star. And who knows who else we're going to find. We'll probably find someone and throw them up on the show. Maybe we'll get John Suggs and Damian Hernandez, have them come on.
Hell yeah. We need to get Damian Hernandez on so we can find out what's really going on with that poor guy. We need to get deep down in Damian Hernandez's life and figure out what went wrong.
I probably could get another independent wrestler on if you guys would be interested.
Hell yeah,
there we go. We'll give him some free promo, Chris.
Tell him we'll give him free promo, man, for sure. I'm always down to talk to a wrestling guy.
I'll work on that tonight after we're done. I know I can get somebody from here in Indiana to get on.
Chris was
that sounds good to me.
All right, that is it. If you got any final thoughts, guys, now's the time.
Yeah, my final thoughts is it looks like right now Duke, I don't have the score in front of me, unfortunately, but I know that Duke is leading over North Carolina. No, actually, I do have the score now. It's 37-31 at half, it looks like. 37-31, Duke is leading at the half over Arkansas. So, Chris, I don't know, man. I don't know if that Arkansas is going to make it, Bubba.
They're struggling shooting the ball.
Yep.
We'll see. I've been watching the game. I've been flipping back and forth between the game and the UFC.
I'm sorry. Hey, it's 37-31, but there's 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. So I was wrong. There's about a little over 2 minutes left in the half before we go to halftime.
There we go. Also, Damian said the Bears is what's happened to him. That's what got him all these crazy comments. Is the Chicago Bears.
Hey, listen, Mike Hughes has that same issue with the Bears. So, man, I hope it works out better for you. But don't feel bad, man. Listen, I don't feel bad for you because you know what? The Cowboys got it just as bad. So I don't want to hear nothing about how bad wherever you think you have it.
Hey, it is what it is. Also, thank you, John Suggs. We appreciate it. We'll see you on Tuesday John. At 7 o'clock. Final thoughts?
Gonzo, you got any final? Oh, I'm sorry, Logan. I apologize. I may skip over you.
No, I'm good. I mean, good show overall. I ain't got much else to say. Watch some college basketball tomorrow. We got 2 good games early in the day. The Peacock's gonna win it.
Gonzo?
No, just thank everybody for watching. And yeah, we got some good basketball tomorrow. Then next weekend, WrestleMania. That's gonna be fun. Being a 2-day event, it's gonna be a good time.
Yes, it is. Like I said, it's going to be real wrestling heavy next week. So if you got any topics on that, throw it in there. And Jay, take us home.
Yeah, hey, listen, don't forget, correct me if I'm wrong, Logan, please. I believe it's April 2nd and 3rd. Is that right
Saturday,
for WrestleMania?
Next Saturday and next Sunday, we will have a special start time. I'm not sure what time it is off the top of my head, but we'll let you know. So Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have 2 episodes of Unscripted back-to-back, and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and I would imagine, of course, we'll give you more heads up via Facebook links, but I would imagine it'll probably be 30 to 40, at least 30 minutes to an hour, probably before the actual show time, just so we can discuss the matches and things like that and see what y'all think about it. So just find out about 30 minutes to an hour before the actual WrestleMania start times, and we'll give you the pregame show before you actually watch the real show. But yeah, man. Hey, listen, April 2nd and April 3rd, Saturday, and this coming Saturday and this coming Sunday, we will be doing WrestleMania. I'm excited. We're gonna have Gonzo. We're gonna have TJ Watt, or is it T-Ray? I always say TJ. I don't know why I say TJ. We're gonna have T-Ray, like T-Rex. I gotta remember T-Rex. We're gonna have T-Ray Watford from the Independent Wrestling League down there in Houston. He'll be on this show along with Frankie C and Chris Robinson and whoever else decides to show up. So it's going to be a lot of us hanging out, having a good time, talking wrestling with you guys. And I look forward to it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good time. A lot of high energy and a lot of good takes and a lot of good predictions, I suspect. We have a lot of good expert panelists. I know Chris Gonzo is an extreme expert analyst. Frankie C is an expert analyst, and so is Logan and Chris Watson. So for those of you that don't know much about wrestling or are learning about wrestling, which, hello, that is me in this category, you can be with me, and I will be with you, and we will learn about this whole wrestling gym as we go along. Until next time, which I believe is Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday. Seth.
Enjoy the rest of your basketball. There's a lot left of basketball left in this evening, and we will see you guys on the next go-around. Hey, North Carolina, you better come out and play, because I think St. Peter's is going to win that game. Obviously, Gonzo, I believe you had North Carolina. Am I correct?
No, I went with the Peacocks.
Oh, you did go with no, you went with Arkansas. That's where you went left.
Yeah.
You went left at the Arkansas game. Well, there you go, folks. There you have it. Gonzo's wrong and we're right.
All right.
I'm just kidding, Gonzo. If they come back and win, I'm going to have a lot to answer for on come Tuesday.
Oh, we know, Jay. We know.
Hey, listen, I don't know if Gonzo's going to be on Tuesday. The man is hard to book. He's got things going left. He's got things going right. But I'm going to try to get Gonzo back on here Tuesday so we can talk about this championship wrestling. I'm not wrestling. The championship basketball that we got going on. And you can catch all of that this coming Tuesday right here on Unscripted. Until next time, folks, I'm your boy, Jay McLovin, joined by Logan Landers and our boy, Chris Gonzales.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a place. You're talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces.